Ευχαριστώ πολύ και για την πρόσκληση τον κύριο Μπαλακάκη και τους οργανωτές της εκδήλωσης.
I would like to thank you. I would like to thank the organizers for extending this invitation. It's with great pleasure that I participate in this fifth AgriBusiness Forum. I have attended and participated in all the previous organizations. Today, I'm here to talk about circular economy, despite the fact that my main topic of concern has to do with supply chain mainly, especially in terms of the digital supply chain. The head of the Parliamentary Group and the previous speaker has already mentioned some things. I'm here wearing the hat of a professor of the Aristotle University of Salonica, and I'm also the president of the Logistics Association of Northern Greece. It is a scientific association aiming at promoting issues faced by the supply chain sector. Well, I'm here to start by setting the framework of sustainability, and I will try to present a survey we carried out in Northern Greece about the extent of implementation of circular economy measures by the Greek agri-food businesses. Let's start from the top. I'm here to talk about food. That's the goal of this conference. Our goal here is what? To feed the people, to provide consumers with food that is safe, affordable, and of the quality and diversity they expect. And on the other hand, we also need to meet the goals and the needs of society. I'm talking about economic, environmental, and social needs. This is the current sustainability framework. Which are the problems that we try to address? There are issues that have to do with the soil, the land, things that have to do with climate and environment. In the first session today, these things have already been discussed. We need to address water, energy, and other issues. And of course, we also have the urbanization, which is another topic that is linked to supply chain and logistics. I would like to move forward. I don't want to bore you too many details about that.
Πώς αλλάζουν μέσα στα χρόνια, οι εφοδιαστικές αλυσίδες, ποιοι είναι οι στόχοι των εφοδιαστικών αλυσίδων παραδοσιακά, χρήματα, μάλλον κόστος από τη μια μεριά και γρήγορη απόκριση.
And we have a prompt response. When we talk about food, what do we include? We include the aspect of the perishability of the food, so we want to protect them.
Sustainable supply chains.
And we have also included concepts such as the environmental carbon footprint, the nutritional value. Well, when it comes to circular economy, everyone has talked about that. I'm talking about the linear model. This has led us to a model where everything is recycled and moving all around the world, but you can see that the graph on the side is indicative of the linear economy, the recycling economy, and the circular economy model. The difference has to do with the waste that is produced. In the first case, we have too much waste. In the second case, we try to recycle material. In the third case, we try to produce the minimum amount of waste possible. Another difference, or rather the key difference between circular economy and recycling has to do with the fact that one of them is a business model. It is a strategy, a design that starts from the concept of the products and the services rather than on the need to do something with the outcomes and the byproducts of the process. Let's move forward. What should we expect in that system? Well, we need to change consumers' behavior. We need to realize that sustainability is a profit center for small and medium-sized enterprises. We need to consider collaboration at the local level. And of course, we need to provide financial support. That's the end of my introduction. Let's move forward now with the results of the survey. This is a survey that was carried out in the context of an Interreg project about Greece and Bulgaria. So this survey was carried out in northern Greece, and particular at the regions that are neighboring with other regions in Bulgaria. The goal of the survey has been to capture the status quo of the circular economy practices in northern Greece, and we want to see which are the different types of the companies that consider these issues, what extent of their operation has to do with circular economy. Here you can see a standard slide showing the design and the timeline of the survey. It was carried out 1 year ago. It was completed in spring 2022. This is a survey that included more than 200 companies. Actually, 200 people responded, not 200 companies, says the speaker. So we talk about companies that are located in northern Greece. When it comes to the size of the company, well, we try to address the profile that the MP mentioned before, small and medium-sized businesses. And here you can see the turnover. Sometimes we had companies with turnover of less than 1 million. But on the other hand, we had companies representing all aspects of supply chain, production, packing, processing, logistics, trading, and service provision. The first thing that we recorded was the main thing that has to do with circular economy. Of course, I'm talking about recyclable waste. That's something known, no particular findings there. But on the other hand, when we asked about whether the strategy is aligned with becoming more circular, one might say, but do those businesses or such businesses have a model? Well, the answer, as expected in the vast majority of companies, is no. It's something that they haven't even considered. They do things because they copy some other company practices. It's not a conscientious choice. This is discouraging, actually. Now, when it comes to the active involvement of companies in generic circular economy measures, these things have to do with recycling of waste. In some other cases, they try to reuse and recycle the inputs. That's a good or interesting thing. This is a rather poor chart. Marked with red are the companies that are actually implementing a relevant measure, and the companies that are interested in implementing such measures are marked in orange. Another similar chart has to do with the energy-related circular economy measures. We see that the only thing they're doing is to monitor the energy consumption, and I take it that is something that is done, or it is something easily monitored through their PPC bills. All the other things rank very low. When it comes to water-related circular economy measures, things are even worse there. Only a handful of businesses try to implement some of the known water-saving measures. I believe that that's indicative of the big picture Now, environmental impact assessment. 30% of businesses said yes, they do assess the environmental impact of their operations. I'm not sure whether this happens. Maybe it's one of those questions, you know, that when it's yes or no, you say, let's go for yes, and if they ask to elaborate, we will figure out something to say. That's what we thought. The last of the questions I have included in this presentation has to do with who exerts pressure on the companies in order for them to implement such measures. The customers put pressure on the companies to undertake action. And another thing has to do with pressure exerted by the suppliers. Well, we see there is such a trend, but of course, since we talk about the entire supply chain, not all customers are the same. We're not talking about consumers or retail customers. We also have intermediate chains or a supermarket, because they do put pressure on the suppliers for such actions, because you do realize that supermarkets are larger businesses than the suppliers, so they require more things. And now some correlations, which I believe are very interesting, but some of them were rather expected. In general, companies with comparatively more employees and higher annual revenues appear to be associated with higher prioritization of circular economy concepts, and of course they do measure what they do, because they are implementing something and they want to measure it in order to see what the impact is. Apparently, those are what we call a healthy business. But that's my personal conclusion. And the companies that do something are the companies that receive pressure by their customers or suppliers. So, in order to near the completion of my presentation, I would like to share with you the conclusions. This survey confirmed the image that we have in our mind. Because we tend to say things, not all of us understand them, maybe politicians and people who promote the European Commission policies might do so, but I don't think that the average person considers that, because people have different incentives, and maybe at this point it would be interesting to mention what Mr. Karakatsanis said before. We need to consider the overall cost. If we measure the cost, we can tell whether the circular economy is considered to be more expensive, more difficult to begin with, but someone should come up with the final conclusion, the final outcome, in order to see whether this is profitable or not. Okay, it's all doom and gloom. Well, I don't think so. I don't want to say that, because it's something that we were expecting. And we know that all those things happen at research level, meaning that it is too difficult and it takes too much time and high investments that are related to circular economy in order to meet the goals. I'm talking about investments in the neoplastics sector. This bio-based economy falls within the scope of the European Commission's goals, and all these things call for extensive investment in order to be viable and sustainable. But it takes some time to do that. This cannot happen overnight. On a more optimistic note, and like the previous speaker talked about industrial symbiosis, which is a European trend, it emerged in Denmark, because I believe that most of the investments started happening there. We have too many industries at the same place, and the input of one industry is the output of another industry. So, in essence, they manage the waste internally. So maybe that could be the traditional model of traditional economy. Mr. Michailidis talked about that. And we had someone who had a flock, and the waste produced by the animals was used by the farmers as a fertilizer, so that was a circle. Maybe it would be quicker for us to consider such solutions applicable on a local level rather than opting for the large-scale solutions, because they need to be tested and mature enough to be implemented. Thank you so much.